Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone watching. We are finally live, and also it is Christmas, and also the UI that I'm designing today is going to be super, super amazing because we're going to be taking a look at Neumorphism, and also we're going to be taking a SaaS app and we're going to be combining the two to create a complete SaaS app that uses way too much Neumorphism. Welcome back, everyone. I am so happy for today's UI. Let's just get started. Alright, just a moment. Wow, I can't wear this hat. Anyways, welcome back. Let's just see what we're going to be designing today. This is a complete Neumorphism SaaS app in Figma for complete beginners. This is an event planner UI, so it takes you through all of the processes you would go through while designing a complete real world UI design of any real world application, and it's going to have a lot of really cool elements that I'm super duper happy to talk about. Let's just get into it. Alright, so the very first thing we need to see is obviously what we're going to be building today. This is the UI that we're going to be building out today. It is a Christmas themed event planner, although it can be used for all of the other days of the year as well. But primarily for our use case, this is going to be a Christmas primary event planner UI for a complete SaaS application, software as a service. And the internal UI design heavily focuses on Neumorphism, which is using white or white-like boxes and elements, and then using drop shadows to sort of get them out on the page, get them in your face. This is going to be an extremely amazing UI to build. We're going to be learning about a lot of really cool objects along with Neumorphism, building out complete SaaS UIs, sharing options to share across various social media places, linking Spotify and all of those different social media providers for music, for sharing, for video calls. I'm so happy all of you are here, and we're going to be designing this complete UI live today. And also we're going to be taking a look at the second page which we're building out. This is the complete page of the year, so you can go back through the top navigation button and say Merry Christmas in the chat, everybody. Let's just begin what we're going to be designing today. This is so awesome. Alright, all of the images that we're going to be using in here are actually available on the Discord group, which you can find in the description of this video. Let's just begin. So the very first thing you need to do is obviously have Figma installed. If you don't have Figma installed, that is going to be a problem. So you have to go to figma.com/downloads and install Figma. Let's just make sure that happens first. Let's just go back, and we're going to be searching for figma.com/downloads, and we're going to install Figma, because who doesn't want to do that? Let's download Figma, and this is my desktop app. I'm going to download it for either macOS or Windows, whatever you're on. And then once you are inside Figma, you're going to be greeted with a screen that looks sort of like this. When you have a screen that looks like this, you're going to create a new file. Again, obviously we're going to be creating a new design file, because design is what we're doing today. And we're going to start off by a very simple frame. So the internal thought behind this frame is you need to have this exact size of frame, otherwise you're not going to have this laptop like screen when you're presenting it to people, and it's not going to fit this perfectly, which is a big problem for us. So we obviously need to create a new frame. So you're going to go down here and create a new frame. This frame is going to be MacBook Pro 14, because that is what we all are using for the presentation of this UI as well. And then obviously there are going to be a couple of really different elements that I do need to talk about. The first of which is fonts. So across the whole UI that we built today, the font is going to stay one and the same. This is Outfit. It's a very round and nice font and works across all use cases. Black on white, white on black, normal, not so normal, all sorts of themes included. This works the best. And then we're going to get started with our UI. So the very first thing that we obviously need to take care of is the first icon. Let's just get started with the first icon, and we can start building from there. Obviously for all of my icons, I will always use Iconify So you're just going to go down here, go to plugins and widgets. Either you're going to get Iconify in this listed menu if you've used it before, or you're going to go and search for Iconify. And so now we're going to have Iconify loaded in here for us. Let's just search for back, which is the very first icon, just so we have an option to go out of our UI. And when we have this, we're going to import this as a frame. And now that I have this frame, the size is always going to be 42 by 42. We're going to create an auto layout. This is going to be expanded. This auto layout is going to have the padding and everything it needs, just so it can accommodate our button. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a frame on top of this previous frame, and then I'm going to add an auto layout. Left and right need to be padded. If your UI starts going out, that is a problem that needs to be fixed. Just make sure the width is set to, oops, I feel like we're going wrong somewhere right off the start. The height has to be fill content, so everything has to be fill content right from the beginning. And when it accommodates all of the space inside of it, it's going to become really easy for you to add. Oops, I feel like we've just started off in a weird situation. You know what, let's just convert this frame to a group first, so any previous constraints that Iconify already gives us in any UI just go away, and then you're going to convert it back to a frame. This may not look like much, but it gets rid of all of the fixed height, fixed width, hug content, fixed content constraints that Iconify would give you, and that is what you want. And now let's just zoom in and start talking about this icon. If it starts going out like it went out for me, you're just going to create a new frame and now use this frame as the holder for our vector icon. And now this frame is the one that is going to have a completely rounded off border radius. Just bring it up to about 100 and you should be fine. And then we're going to change the color to a shade that's just slightly different from white, just so it is visible and not really different. The shade that we're using today is F9. Say Merry Christmas in the chat, everybody. Welcome to the stream if you just started watching us here. And also I just found out before starting this stream, we reached 570 subscribers, and let's set a goal of 600 today. Let's hit 600 in this stream. Anyways, this is the very first icon that we've built out. Very simple stuff. Got this right from Iconify. And now you want to put in your name, the prettiest word in the world to us. Hello, and I'm going to put down my name, Veera. You can put down your own name. You can put down a user's name. You can put down absolutely no one's name. You can put down Santa. You know what? I'm going to put down Santa. I'm going to put down Santa. I'm embracing the whole Christmas spirit thing now. And we're also going to add a comma because there is content below this UI and we want to highlight that. And now we're going to create a different frame which is going to hold this text inside of it as well. Let's just make this frame into a visual rough height that we think it'll take, and then you can change it around as you need to. Let's bring this also to an F9, just you know what, we're doing F5. F5 is fine as well. Let's change the color of this guy to F5 as well, just so we can visually see the difference between the pure white and this container right here. It's that is quite important. And now we're going to change this to outfit. Outfit is the font family we're using here today. The font size is going to be 24. Let's change this up to 24, which is quite important, just so we can visually see what's going on. And also we're going to make sure this is set to semi-bold because we want this to visually be thicker than the background. And again, let your frame be bigger, let your frame be smaller. It really doesn't matter at this point. And if you guys have any questions related to UI design or Christmas, leave them in the chat today. Alright, let's just give this guy a border radius. And now we have something that's popping up. And now I want to talk about neumorphism, which is one of the primary clickbaity words which brought us all here. Neumorphism is about taking plain white containers or containers with light shades and then putting a drop shadow behind them, just so everything can be present on top of the screen. And so we're sort of creating one master shadow today, which is going to be a repeated shadow style. So we're going to create one shadow, create a style out of it, and then that master shadow is going to be repeated a bunch of times, and that's just going to make sure your neumorphism is as consistent as it can be. And before I do that, I'm going to read the comment from the chat. Can you please tell me how to choose icons? I mean, how to choose icons that suit our specific typography? This is from Akashdeep. Akash, my primary suggestion to you in this case would be go to Iconify, and for example, if you're looking for a back icon, just go ahead and search for back, and then you're going to get a bunch of options. At this point, now that I know my font is going to be outfit, you will visually see that there are many icons that maybe won't look the best in the world. Maybe an edgier icon won't look the best, maybe a rounded icon would look the best. I feel like when you visually have your typography in front of you, and Iconify gives you all of these options regardless of what font category they're from, you're able to get better visually choose whether the edgier option is better or whether the more rounded option is better, and then you start having your own ideas. It is not very important in the beginning to stick with a specific icon family, because as soon as you get an icon, it is going to tell you what family it is from, and then you can get this exact icons family and then get all of the icons from that family, if that makes sense. So you're going to import this as a frame, and since this is caret background, I'm going to search for, go back to icons list and get caret icons from this list, and then I'm going to start using all of those icons from that exact same list if the icon family has to be consistent. If it doesn't have to be consistent, then you can just use any icons you want. In the beginning, it's nice to have a visual, and Iconify does wonders for that matter, which is why I love Iconify so much. Santa hat. I got this 50 rupees today, and I'm not willing to do a second of the stream without it, because this is the only day of the year when I can wear it without being called a weirdo. Anyways, we were back at shadows. Let's bring out shadows. Let's click on effects, and this is going to give us a plain drop shadow. Figma automatically gives you this built-up drop shadow, which is always 0, 4, 4 and then 25% black. Now, in my opinion, 0, 1, 4 and 25% black works way better, especially if you're trying to make things stand out. And then we're going to make sure this black is just a little bit lighter. We're going to get this down to 14, and then that is it. You can bring out the spread if you'd like. I feel like the current spread is 0 and it's fine, because not all shapes can be spread in Figma. So you're just going to make sure this is final now, and with these exact same settings, you're going to create a new shadow style. So we're going to now make this the master shadow and sort of copy this every single time we need to put a shadow in anything. This is my secret mantra for all sorts of neumorphism across this entire UI, which is so good for us. If at some point this shadow doesn't feel enough or seems like too much, we can always break it from here and then sort of break it apart to see how to get these things to work. And now we have the both of these ready with us. Now we're going to build out our calendar. So let's just go ahead and build out our calendar. The very first thing we need to do right here is, and I'm not getting these background images and all of the fancy stuff until now, because I feel like we need to be clear on how to do neumorphism first, and then we can go ahead and add all of our images and start getting complicated with things. Now, since calendars are very specific and need to have equal sizes in terms of all of these blocks, this is where I feel like I'm going to start using layout grids, which people on this channel have never seen me use. So prepare your eyes for that as well. So let's just make sure this is a complete square. You know what? We can make it a little bit rectangular as well. It doesn't matter. Now we're going to add a layout grid and start going inside of here. And we're going to make this as big as we need to. So it doesn't matter what number it says in here, as long as you're happy with the size. When I was making my previous grid, I was staying at around 126, from 105 to 126. And I feel like 105 was a good number to stop at. Akash asks, when do I come live? Is there any specific date or time? I come live every Saturday and Sunday at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And on special days like Christmas and New Year, but you will get all of the details on that in either the community tab or on my Instagram, which is in the description, so you can just follow me or whatever, or just check out the community posts that we do on this channel. So I will be live on New Year's as well, and also any other special holiday kind of days that we can do at, so Saturdays, Sundays and any holidays. Alright, so let's just make this as big as we can. And again, there is one concern here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is the number of columns that we need to have, and then I forget which is the rows and columns. 6 is this, and then we need to have 7 of these. So we're just going to count it out simply. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. This needs to stop here. 1 2 3 4 5 6. This needs to stop here. And you don't even have to be exact with it. It just has to be rough enough for us to be able to see. And when we have that, we're going to start creating many frames inside of all of these. So we're just going to create frames with 105 pixels of width and 105 pixels of height. Very, very simple stuff, just so that we can have internal column pieces for every single date and every single time. Let's just sort of get these duplicated and put them across. I feel like we should have added background colors first, otherwise it's just really difficult to see what's going where, especially when it's moving around. Let's change this to gray, just so we can see what's going on and where it is going on. Let's just make sure everything is perfectly centered. And I know this takes a little bit of time, but at the end the calendar is so worth it. And this is the thing with making custom calendars. When you're making a calendar that's just completely custom, that's never been made before, you sort of have to make it on your own, otherwise you can't style it as crazily as you need to, if that makes sense. So we're just going to make sure all of these frames are now out of, because I feel like they've just scattered at this point. So let's just select all of the frames. I'm getting rid of these master frames. Control Shift G will get rid of any frames or any master groups for you, because I feel like at this point we don't even know what's happening where, and we have a bunch of frames at the same time. Let's just get them out. And then this is my master frame. I feel like we don't have colors for all of the frames, which is causing us a lot of problems. So let's just select all of them and give them a little bit of color as well. What's going on here? I feel like there were more frames. That's all right. If there aren't that many frames, we're just going to have to make a bunch of frames now. So we're up to 5 columns and we need one more column. And now we're going to just create a bunch of these really simply. Let's just bring them right here. Creating custom columns takes a little bit of time, but it's the price you have to pay. Why do we have these weird columns on columns? I have no idea at this point. Let's just get rid of the master frame column for once. We know we have the right number of rows, and I feel like I've just bamboozled myself. Let's just get this made first. All right, let's just place this right here. And with that, I feel like we're done on the calendar columns, and then we can just get started on making sure they're all perfectly spaced and everything just works right. So we're just going to add an auto layout, and this is going to get rid of any extra columns for us. Let's sort of give them a semi-transparent thing. This is going to show us all of the extra things that I've pasted, and I'm going to get rid of this column now. Let's delete them all of the extra ones. 4 5 6 and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. This is the exact amount that we need. You can add a stroke here if you want at this point, and then we do have a master frame for all of these frames internally. And now that we have this frame, which is going to frame it together, and now we have all of these little mini columns. And at this point we have to separate the both of these rows. So this is going to be the colored row, this is going to hold all of the weekdays, and now this is, and all of the others are actually going to be the numbers. Let's start with the weekdays. You know what, why is it so difficult to get a hold of these? And at this point we're going to start zooming in, and we're going to start putting in Mondays and Tuesdays. So this is going to have a font size of obviously 32, because we need this to be a little bit bigger. And let's just, before we copy and paste it, we have to make sure that this is perfectly aligned in the center, because if it is not, that's going to be a little bit of a problem for us, because we want it to be perfectly aligned in the center wherever it goes, just so everything looks nice and cool, because we're going to be changing this text and the width for each alphabet is different. So you want it to be center aligned, just so all of the resultant copy pastes are perfectly center aligned as well. Alright, let's just get these pasted. And why are you hidden behind some other frame? And we're just going to make sure all of these are inside of their respective frames. This does take a little bit of time, but the end result is so worth it. Let's just copy and paste this right here. And obviously this does take a little bit of time, but the end result is really worth it. And now we're going to start changing the text. So the last one is going to be Sunday, the second last is Saturday, the third last is Friday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday, and this is Thursday. Obviously, let's also get all of these selected. So the current day that we're building out for is Wednesday, 25th of December, Christmas. So let's just change this to red, and a really bright shade of red, and we're putting this in a position so that this is the only contrast wise color that needs a white text. So we need to change the text here to white, and because the text needs to be white, we're going to change this to such a bright shade of red that everything pops. And now this is going to be, I feel like we're only at a little bit 63% opacity. We're going to bring this down, make this a little bit lighter. This is going to be F0F, and it's going to stay at that. And now we're going to bring down the opacity. If you guys have any questions at all related to UI design, leave them in the live chat. I would be more than happy to answer them. Leave a Merry Christmas in there too, because why not? And I'm just bringing these colors to 100% opacity and making them as light as we can, sort of in an ombre effect, just so there is a really nice highlight for the current day present. Check it out. This is coming along really well. And we're going to just bring these to a really light shade of pink, and this side is just going to be the opposite of what's going on here. So this color is going to be this color with the eyedropper tool, and then this is going to be this color. And at this point you have to make sure to just have all of these things looking well, because at the end of it all we're going to get rid of these strokes, and then you're not going to have these strokes anymore, because this is Neumorphism. Neumorphism does not use any strokes at all. So let's just hide these strokes. Before I do that, let's just, you know what, even after I do that, I'm just going to select the master frame which is holding all of these, and since we're using a lot of border radius for this Neumorphism, 37 pixels is going to be the border radius of this frame. Where did my master frame go? Frame 49 is our master frame. This is the big frame holding everything inside of it, and it's going to have 37 pixels of border radius. You might notice that your 37 pixels is not getting cut off from all of the corners. That's because clip content is not enabled. When you click on clip content, everything that needs to be cut from any of the edges will be cut automatically. So when 37 pixels is put down here, everything from 37 pixels is cut. You know what, 31 pixels would do much better. I'm just going to stay at 31, and with that we have our very first row ready with us, and all we have to do is put down the dates now, which is actually very simple work. So we're just going to select all of these frames, and I feel like this was a mistake choosing red for all of these colors, but we're just so far along now. I'm just really committed to this plan. If it was not red, we could have just selected it from the corner, but it is, no worries. We're going to bring this back out to a pure white and get rid of our stroke, just hide it because we're still a little bit unsure. And you know what, let's keep the stroke for now, just so we are sure that the text inside here is very centered. Having the visual of what the borders look like is actually quite nice. F is the color that we're using here, and it's going to be set to 100%. And also we're going to make sure the big frame, which is holding all of these mini frames inside of it, the one which has a border radius, also has a shadow, because this is neumorphism. Shadow is key. We have created a master shadow in the beginning of this video, which is what we're going to be using, and this master shadow is just pushing this over the screen. So if you could just get rid of all of these strokes which are right here, you would see that this is pushing it in front of the screen. If it isn't, we can just break the shadow if it isn't really clearly visible, and we can just work with the shadow a little bit, just bring it up here to 4, and also increase the blur, so it's going to be blurred out outside of its regular frame size. Let's just bring this down to 2, and this looks good. And at this point I'm only waiting on not changing the stroke back to invisible, because I want to be sure of center aligning all of my numbers. So that's the only reason I've held back not removing the strokes for so long. Let's get the font weight down to a regular, and the font size has to go down now. Let's just bring it down to 26. Is it looking smaller compared to the titles? Yes, it is. We're going to commit to 26, and this is going to be the size and style for our font size now. I'm just going to create typography style now, because we're going to repeating this 31 times, so we need to be sure on what the style is, and we sort of need to repeat it every single time. And we're going to make sure everything is perfectly aligned in the center, and just align this guy in the center as well. So we're just going to copy and paste this now, and a bunch of times basically duplicate it. I'm just going to duplicate it first, and then we're going to change all of the numbers. Meanwhile, if you guys have any fun Christmas stories, questions, anything related to UI design, leave them in the chat. We'll read it out. Obviously all of them need to be inside of their own frames, centered perfectly. If it isn't, you need to change that back. Let's just make sure everything is perfectly centered. If something looks out of frame, that's a problem which we'll have to fix. I feel like I lost one of the 31s. Never mind. This is so easy to lose, because if you copy and paste more than one at a time, you're definitely going to lose them. Let's just Carlton Gordon asks, why don't you use auto layout? I do use auto layout, but auto layout has been used for the calendar. Using it in here would be really, really impractical. If you could just go back a couple of seconds in this stream, Carlton. This is the 31 which is lost. We need to sort of bring it out. Where are you, 31? I feel like this could be a game in itself. Like after this stream is over, we could make like a weird shot of this section. Just me figuring out 31s and just getting them lost altogether. This is so difficult. Making custom calendars is honestly one of the hardest things to do in Figma in regular use, especially if you are sure on what you're going to do. This is so difficult. This is genuinely really, really difficult. Don't get me wrong, this is really difficult, and I feel like such a complainer right now. We need a bunch of these numbers right now. Where are you? We need a bunch of these numbers right now, and I cannot get any of them done. Wow, this is horrible. Carlton says, on the inner cells, the numbers would get centered as you drop them. On the inner cells, I actually have no idea of what you're talking about. Like, we would, yes, they do that, but we would have to sort of duplicate them like a bunch of times, and that's just as time taking, because the main time issue here is dropping them in their specific place. 30 minutes later, I'd still be doing this. This is so horribly irritating, because you can't duplicate more than one at a time, and I feel like this could make a great plugin. Like custom calendars for UIs in Figma would make like such a great plugin. Speaking of plugins, I might do a live stream one of these days, in fact on New Year's, making our own custom plugins. If you guys would be interested in that, just type And in the live chat, if you guys want to see a New Year's live stream which talks about making your own plugin in Figma. And then you can also monetize plugins, I believe, which is a great way of making some income. Just type N in the chat if you guys want to see a New Year's live stream which talks about making your own plugins in Figma. Because I feel like we haven't ever done that on this channel, and the videos and documentation on that, especially for beginners on YouTube, is just really, really low right now. Like, we could do something in that regard. Wow, this is so horribly boring right now, you guys. Did anyone check out my genius new cap? I know this is the commonmost cap you can find on Christmas, and yet I am refusing to do this live stream without my great cap today. I got this just today, and I know I can't use it for a whole other year. Like, I'll have to wait until next year to be able to use it in public without seeming like a complete weirdo, which is why I'm hell-bent on not getting rid of it. And you might see me struggle, you might see me drop this a bunch of times, but one thing I will not do is do this live stream without it. Alright, now that we've finally got all of these numbers with us, which is going to change these numbers back, which is great news. 1, 8, 15. What happens after 15? 22. I hope... Wait, does 22 happen? Yes, it seems to be. And I feel like we just messed up here a little bit because 31 falls on a Tuesday. Let's bring this guy in here and let's change this to 30. And also, if let's just change all of these back. I feel like I'm losing track of what I'm doing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Surprise! This is going to be 100. No, it's not. We'll still have to stick with the normal calendar days. 28, 27, 20. What comes before 20? 13. Oops. 12. Why? Wow. 12. What happens after 12? 19. 26. I feel like I'm making this unnecessarily complicated for myself, but I seem to be committed to this plan now, so I'm just not going to go back at all. Which this is going like this is a horrible idea. Why did I start with this? This is so weird. Akash Deep says, can you please do the 100 days challenge? Akash, I was doing the 100 days of UI design challenge for 40 days straight. We just used to go live every single day at 8 p.m. and we were live creating a new design every single day. On day 35 or day 40, something around that line, I basically blacked out just before the session, and so I realized it was a little bit too much. But if you want to see the first 40 sessions we did, you can go to the live streams of this channel and you'll find the whole thing. We are trying to post as much as we can on this channel, and also the 30 days designer breakthrough is going on, so we're posting a new video every single day on this channel for 30 days straight. I'm trying to keep things as regular as I can, but at some point it just becomes a little too much, which is horrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Am I missing a number? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I feel like all of the numbers are here. This looks good. If I have missed a number, tell me about it. If I haven't missed a number, don't tell me about it, or just forget about it. Absolutely. All right. And at this point, our primary concern is, since we're sure everything is perfectly centered now, we just have to get rid of the strokes, because if we don't get rid of the strokes, it is not neumorphism anymore. Neumorphism is based around having shadows and very light boxes, and that is super duper committed. Let's just get, but I feel like, Akashdeep, if you're new to this channel and if you're looking for UI designs, we have like literally like we've crossed 70 live streams of this pattern on this channel, so you can just make one of those every single day. All of the images that we use for these challenges you can find inside of Discord, which is in the description for this video. And now we're going to our next section, which is honestly my favorite section. This is the next section we're going to be building out, and this is so much fun to build out, you guys. And also we're going to start by creating a new frame. Before I do that, make sure to subscribe, and we're hoping to hit 600 subscribers. If you guys could just really subscribe, that would be awesome, and you would get my Christmas blessings to you, even though I'm not Santa Claus technically. Just subscribe, okay? Subscribe. All right, let's shift this above, and at this point we're going to be starting with our current Christmas banner. So this is going to be the Christmas banner that we're going to be building out. This signifies that we are on Christmas. And we're back. Now we're going to be building out this Christmas sort of sort of illustration. These illustrations are all from Lumi. I'm going to go ahead and search for Lumi online. You can get the Lumi plugin. In fact, I used to use the Lumi plugin in Figma, but it turns out it is a very heavy plugin, and if you're doing a bunch of things on your PC like I am streaming right now, it is probably going to crash your whole Figma thing. Like I think this is my current PC, but Lumi is giving me a ton of problems, the plugin version in Figma. So we're just going to go to lumi.ai and search for illustrations related to Christmas. In fact, you can just get Christmas from right here, but I'm just going to stay committed to this plan now. And you can get a bunch of illustrations basically. Let's keep on searching until we find something that looks really nice for us to have in those icons. Where can I find something nice? Let's just keep on searching. You know what, this was the one that we were using. We're just going to download this really quickly, and while that is downloading, we should also download a New Year illustration. New Year. The good thing with Lumi is these are all AI generated images and haven't been used before technically, but also you can use them completely for free without copyright issues and everything, which is so awesome, because most stock images on Unsplash or wherever it is that you're looking for them will be automatically overused. What is the spelling of Valentine? I was typing Valental, which is horrible. Valentine. Let's just search for the oops, a bunch of hearts. Who needs a bunch of hearts when you can have a lovely couple? Where did our UI's couple go? This is the one that we were using, by Lulu. Let's just get this downloaded, and then we're going to go back and create all of these cards. So these cards are basically of all of the different events that happen, and when you click on one of these cards, you automatically get selected with the current day and also the to-do list for that day. There is also a bunch of to-do lists that you can do from right here. All right, if you guys have any questions, Christmas stories, anything, I would be willing to read them out right here live. Just type them out. Christmas spirit, happy gift day. Let's get our image, and so we're just going to get our downloaded Christmas image, and then since the image that we've downloaded isn't exactly like the image that we're using, we're obviously going to have to crop it out. So we're getting this image. It is going to take a little bit of time and it's going to look a little bit weird, so we're going to go right here. Instead of fill, you're going to do crop, and then let's just zoom in. So you're just going to press you're going to press shift, and then you're going to make this big. Just drag it out and just place it right here, and with that, check it out, you guys, we have a decent looking Christmas image. This looks really nice, and now we're just going to copy and paste it. The next one we're going to do is for New Year's. Let's just upload another image from the computer. This time it's going to be this one. You might realize that your image is really weirdly stretched out, and if that is the case, you're just going to get rid of the last image fill and get another one inside here, and we're going to get cultural convergence at holy site. With that, we can crop this out as well if we want, especially because there's going to be text in the middle of it, so it has to be as clean of a surface as there can be. You are going to press on shift, and that's going to make all of these stretchy options available to you. Done. I feel like we just cropped it a little too much. Let's select this image and let's just place this right here. Done. And now we're going to do our last image, which is Valentine's. And I feel like we just overdid these a little bit in terms of sizing, so I'm just selecting all of these frames and drag them down to make them smaller, just so that they fit us for this exact width. And this is just to make sure we have two different columns and everything is nice and equal. You can click the blue button to just make sure everything is perfectly centered and get rid of the previous image, just so it doesn't get weird and stretchy when we import our final Valentine's Day image. This image is going to be from here and this is going to be our joyful wedding couple. The trick here is this couple is actually a squared image, so you can't use it in here, but that doesn't affect us as much because we need to have this banner for more holidays here with us, so the two are sort of dependent on each other. We're going to go right here and change this to crop. You know what, let's just change this to fit first and then we're going to change this to crop. Now fit is going to change the way the image is positioned, so it's going to turn into a square, which is its original aspect ratio, and then we can sort of adjust it using the crop option. Check it out, this looks good. And now we're going to start with our banner. So you're just going to give this guy a fill and you're going to drag that fill downward just so there is something right here. And then we're going to go to our image and you know what, let's just let the image be here. Let's create a different square right here because we obviously need a square inside to represent the more holidays option. Let's just go back to our image. This is what I was doing before, and we're going to make sure there's a little bit of space. So this space and this space is exactly equal, and then it does leave a little bit of space for this square to be here as well. And we're just going to get this square a little bit bigger. Make sure it fits inside perfectly in the center, and also make sure it is the rectangle is inside the master frame and it is set to clip content. If clip content is enabled, then your image is going to be rounded off from the two edges automatically. And then we're going to change this back to black. So this is just pure black. And now we need to add this text which says more holidays. Let's just do that. So you're just going to go right here and press caps lock, more holidays. Done. And at this point, you know what, we don't need the font setting for this one because that font setting was only relevant to these guys. So we're just going to open this up and change the font color to white because it's going to be on a black background. Bring this up here very simply. Change this number to 90 degrees because this is set to 90 degrees now. Change the font size to let's go 16. And font weight is now going to be thicker because automatically we need things to be more visible. So we'll change it to bold and obviously bring this down to 2 lines. Let's bring this right here, decrease the line spacing, or you let it be auto, it doesn't really matter at this point because I feel like this is the good thing with Outfit. There is an okay amount of space between icons. You don't need to worry about it ceaselessly. You know what, let's reduce the font size because 14 would look much better, especially with the padding here and here. Let's bring this right here, and then we're going to also have an icon here which is going to come from Iconify. We're going to search back for Iconify and make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet because we're aiming for 600 subscribers today, which is a small, very easy goal. You guys just subscribe, and if we reach 600 subscribers in this stream, there is going to be a special surprise for all of you watching, announced in the community post and also on this channel video. Just really quickly subscribe. Next is going to give us a bunch of icons, and let's hope we can get the icon we're looking for. Weird, why am I not getting the previous icon? I feel like I got it from searching for like previous. I got it for searching from back. Sorry, I was searching for back at once, and then you can just repurpose one of these icons. So we're just going to get this back icon, import it as a frame. Very simple stuff. Make sure to subscribe, right click, flip horizontal, bring this right here, make sure the width and height is locked together, and then you're going to reduce the width. And let's change the color to white so that it just becomes visible. And we're going to place this right here. Check it out, you guys. This actually looks really incredible. This looks awesome. Like, we're just going to get this and obviously select this icon, shift it over towards the other side, and with that we have this really nice icon. And since this is Christmas Day that we're talking about, we're going to add a stroke in here on the inside of one single pixel, just so that we have selected this thing. You cannot go very hard on the pixels of the stroke, so you can't do a stroke like this, especially if you're going for neumorphism. So we're trying not to tamper with the neumorphism native feel. Let's just stick with it. And now that we've selected Christmas, we're obviously going to need to select this number as well, which we're going to do from right here. So we're going to create a simple ellipse, bring it over here, make it smaller, make sure the width and height is locked first, then bring down the width just so it's covering up 25, and send it behind our 25 right here. So we're going to right click and click on send to back, and then make sure everything is perfectly centered. You can reduce the width and height even more if you need to. Just bring this down to 82 if you need to. You know what, let's just make it even smaller. 75 would do good. Let's change this to black and change this to white, because obviously it needs to be visible in front. And with that, check it out, we actually have something that looks really nice. I feel like there is a lot of extra spacing around all of these. Hold on, I need to charge this. Are we charging? Yes, we are. Alright, we're plugged in. My point was, right now there's just feels like a lot of space is being used, which is really weird as a situation for us. So we're going to go to our font style and change this to, let's do medium. And with that, all of these automatically seem to be taking a little more space. The padding is more justified, and things just seem to be much better now. Alright, and at this point I feel like we're doing really good in terms of the stuff we've built out. We obviously need Christmas Day and New Year right here, so we're just going to go right here, zoom in, and obviously we're going to search for Christmas. Sorry, we're going to type out Christmas. Let's just type out Christmas first, and make sure the font isn't set to the font style that we were using. And obviously we're going to change the font to semi-bold. If the background was black, I would add a drop shadow, but since this background is purely white, I'm just going to stick with it. And then I'm going to break apart the word day and put this right here. For special occasions, we can create custom banners like this, which is why this is breaking each singular text is completely fine, even though it might seem a little bit tedious for many other versions. New Year. I was about to type New York, New Year, and which is going to center line it perfectly. This looks good as well. And then we're not going to type out anything here because it would take a lot of space, and this is already going to highlight more holidays, so you don't want there to be a lot of text. That is the goal. And with that, check it out, ladies and gentlemen, we have a really nice bit of content ready with us. At this point, you're going to need to have a background image with you. Now I'm going to show you how to get your own background image. So these background images, so you can either get this exact background image if you don't want to search too hard from the Discord group. Just go join the Discord group, links in the description. But if you're not yet if you want to do your own images, I'm going to show you the master trick on getting your own images like the one used in the background, and getting your own different variations of it for any UI use case. Before I do that, need to put on my hat, because I won't be able to do so for another whole year. And now let's just go back. My favorite place for getting images like these is pixabay.com. Pixabay is where I get all of these images. I'm going to get illustrations. I'm going to go to the illustrations section, and since I'm looking for Christmas leaf here, that's exactly what I'm going to search for. I have a specific image in mind, but these illustrations are like completely free to use, and obviously not Christmas leaf, Christmas leaf. You can also search for a Christmas leaf. My challenge to you is, after this video is over, design a UI for a Christmas leaf. And then, jokes apart, let's just keep on scrolling until we find something that represents a good pattern, basically. And it might take a little while, but the end results for all of these guys are just so worth it. Alright, so you can go with something that looks like this, or alternatively, let's just keep on searching for all of these images a little bit. Searching for your own images just gives you such great Christmas leaf decoration. Let's search for the image in itself, because in a real world experience where you're building out your own UIs, browsing through all of these is such a natural process. I feel like I wanted to bring that to this UI. Let's just keep on searching until we find something that looks nice. You could go with something that looks like this, or you could keep on take a moment to search. So this is sort of similar to the UI that we were building out, but I want to give this just one more moment and then we can go back. Let's just load a couple of other Christmas leaf borders. Let's search for a Christmas leaf border, because that's what we're doing. Christmas leaf border. Hold on. If we don't find it, we can just go back and get the image that we were using. This is the exact shade of, this is the exact image that we're using. This is the complete version if you're looking for the complete thing, but we're just doing partial versions right now. So this is the image that we're going to get. Let's just get this image. You're going to download, you know what, let's do a different image. Let's just do this guy. I feel like this would look even better. Let's just get this one, download it. Simply get your highest resolution graphic, or you can alternatively get the SVG, but I'm just going to get a PNG of the highest resolution right now. And obviously while that's loading up, we're going to go right here, press Ctrl Shift K. Ctrl Shift K gives us all of the images that are downloaded or on our desktop, and it lets us import all of them images in here. So let's just bring this right here, and we're going to zoom out for a moment, make this even smaller, and obviously we're going to do them two ways, so on the top left corner and bottom right corner, both ways. Let's just bring this right here. And the good thing in here is you don't even have to reduce these opacities for some of them. Like, they look incredibly good even after a bunch of tries. So let's just send it to the back, and obviously you can just keep on staying with the color that we're using. The goal here is to make sure this arrow coincides with the branches, just so everything looks nice and easy at the background. And you can have a little bit more images if you want, but I'm just happy with this for now. I'm just going to go right here, flip horizontal, right click, flip vertical, and with that I have the other version for this UI as well. And now I'm just going to get both of these images, group them together, and I'm going to bring down their appearance just so they are partially visible. This does two things for me. I'm going to bring this appearance down to 22%. The first thing it does is it creates this really light, smoky, sort of snowy effect with really hard tones of white, and also it takes away from the brightness of the green. So the second thing it does is it takes away from the brightness of the green. The reason we want to get away from the brightness of the green is a very bright color, and if you put too many bright colors in one place, it's going to take all of the focus away from the Wednesday and the red and all of the colors and everything that we're building out over here, which we don't really want, because we want this to be the most important part of this UI. We want to control that as UI designers. That's the main goal in here. All right. And with that, make sure to subscribe. Let's just continue on. The next thing we're going to do is obviously create a similar version of that right here at the top. So let's just duplicate this exact frame. Nothing changed at all. Let's get these. We're going to group them together, copy them once again and paste them again. And we're going to bring them back up here. And we're going to press shift and scale them down. So the goal here is for them to take up the entire width that we can provide in this corner. Don't worry if your text gets cut out, we'll rescue it later on. Let's just bring this right here, and obviously the border radius is going to be higher now, so it's going to be more spiky. Let's change this border radius to 13. Let's bring this up to 13. Make sure to subscribe. Let's hit 600 subscribers in this stream. How close are we to hitting 600 in this stream, you guys? Let's just hit 600 in this stream, and Merry Christmas to me and you. And we're going to make sure it takes up. Why are you acting strangely? Let's just bring this right here, and with that we have this other section ready for us as well. Now there is a bunch of elements here that we basically need to rescue physically. Let's just get this first guy in here, make sure it takes up the amount of space it needs to. Let's get this text in here, bring this right here, reduce the size because obviously sizes are being reduced now. That's apparently what we're doing. We're going to get our vector in here and we're going to place this right here as well. Make sure this vector is surrounded by a frame, because if it isn't, when you stretch your frame, it's going to work in really weird ways, which is going to feel really bad for us. So we don't want that. Let's just change the font size in here, bring this down by like 4 pixels. 22 is the size that we're going with now. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. What in the world are you doing? Let's get this party started. Let's change this to say gift exchange, because these are now the to-do lists that we're building out. So we obviously need to change this to say more all to-do lists, all of the to-do lists that we're going to be building out. Obviously you have to press caps lock, all to-do lists. And you know what, you can send this to the next line if you need to, just so everything is more equal. And now this is going to be, oops, caps lock is still on, gift exchange. This is our first list. All of these lists are going to hold all of the events and tasks that we need to do. That is the point of an event planner. Exchange. And we're also going to give this a smaller font size, because 22 feels a little bit too big for this now. 20 seems like a good size. And this, for this next one, we're going to get rid of one of these, and the other one is going to say Christmas party. Christmas is already here with us. We're going to change this text to say party, bring the font size down to 20 as we just did, and then we're going to get our Christmas party. So we're just going to go right here and go back to lumi.ai, and we're going to search for Christmas elf party. Hopefully that's going to give us Christmas elf party images. Make sure you're searching for illustrations. The very first image is the image that we're looking for. Hallelujah. And then let's get the second image, which is what was the second image, by the way? I've completely forgot. This is actually a gift, so we're just going to search for a gift. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, because I come here live every single holiday at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and also Saturdays and Sundays, and then we have a lot of fun designing completely awesome UIs. Let's just get this other image for us as well. I seem to have lost my cap. I will put it back on because this is the only day of the year when I can. Let's get this image in here and upload an image from the computer. Let's get this elegant polka dot image, and you're going to now realize the mistake that I've made. Don't make the same mistake. Get rid of your previous image fill, otherwise it's going to mess up with the aspect ratio of your new image. You're going to get this image from right here, and awesome, oops, awesome, we have that image with us. We're going to change the fill to crop, and then we're going to shift this image down using our arrow keys just until it's slightly out of frame. And then this is going to be white, and with that, check it out. Let's just, you know what, let me just crop this one last time, just so the star is exactly over N and G. And these just seem like such small effects, but in the long run they really do pay off. So when you have something like this going on, this is expert level UI designer stuff. You have a star on this image directly between N and G. That is completely awesome. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Let's hit 600 subscribers today. Let's change this image back up again, obviously, and we're going to upload it from the computer. This is the image that we're using, and once again you'll realize the big idiot that we've become because we didn't remove the previous image fill. That was a horrible mistake. If you have any questions related to UI UX design, leave them in the chat. Leave them in there right now. You can crop this image out if you need to. I feel like I will, and obviously space it around just so everything looks nice and visible. And Christmas party is the one we've selected for tonight, because Christmas party is what we're going to be talking about. Let's change this to white, see if that makes life any better for us. Let's change the whole thing to white. Hopefully that'll improve things. And then when the background is white here, we'll add our master shadow effect, and that'll just make white text on white pop out. That is awesome stuff. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to click on the like button so YouTube can spread this to really a lot of people and we can have a ton of fun. And let's just get this UI design completed. Alright, as we were talking, let's now start building out our to-do list. But before we do that, I feel like we should get all of these share icons out of the way, because this is going to be a big project on its own. All of my icons are from Iconify, and let's just get a bunch of icons here. So before I start designing, my primary plan here is to have a mobile phone icon, a mail icon, one social media icon, actually 2 social media icons, Discord and WhatsApp, and then a Spotify icon. Spotify icon is here to provide music, but for the special duration of this live stream, if you're watching this live, if you type out the name of your favorite 2 social media icons or even a single social media icon, we'll change this to that. So just type away. Meanwhile, let's go to Iconify, type out any social media icon and we'll place it right there. Let's search for phone. Let's get a phone icon in here with us. Let's just, you know what, I like this icon better. We'll just get it out. The other icon we're getting here is mail. Obviously that, we'll get this out here as well. The other icons are Spotify. This is a good Spotify icon. We'll just get it out. You know what, let's just go with Discord. Discord seems like a good place. Meanwhile, if you want all of the images that we're building out, that we're using in this chat, go to the description of this video. You'll find the link to our greatest Discord group of UI designers in the world. It's generally a really great place to be. If you are a UI UX designer, go join in. We'll have a lot of fun. You can ask for images, get images that are already there, or just ask any UI design question in general. Discord, and then the other one was WhatsApp. Speaking of UI designs, I'm planning on getting an expert in UX design as a guest on this channel. If you guys have any questions related to UI UX design or professional areas in this field, just leave them in the live chat and we'll hopefully get them recorded for the future, because this is going to be a really important session that I'm actually looking forward to. If you guys could just post your questions, whatever they are, in the live chat, that would be incredible. Let's just group them right here. Add an auto layout, because we obviously need to. Make sure they're all set to be aligned in a single line. Make sure everything is inside of a single frame, and that single frame is inside of your MacBook. If it isn't, it's going to start acting weird, so you just have to get the both of these in here and get this icon which is inside the frame. We're going to get rid of the additional frame. Why is this squished together like a weirdo? Why are you squished together like a weirdo? Let's zoom in and find out why Spotify decided to squish itself like a weirdo. These need to have the exact same width and height, so 42 by 42 is the size that we're using for these. And now we're going to make sure there is an auto. Since there is an auto layout, you can basically swap any 2 of these out as you please. Why I use rotating weirdly, this is starting to creep me out a little bit. Let's get this frame. Let's change the width to hug contents, and I feel like life is going to be much easier now. We're going to reduce the spacing between all of these and obviously bring them right here at the right side, and we're going to swap this out to be at the very end. At this point, I feel like we need to have these icon containers here with us. Let's start building out icon containers, but before we do, let's get rid of the frame. This frame was only to align things together. We're going to Control-Shift-G the whole thing, so to get rid of the frame. And after this, we're going to create circles that hold all of these, just so we are consistent across our UI. Before I do that, let me drink some water. I've been screaming for a really long time and my neck is starting to explode. After that excruciatingly long break, we are back. Let's get rid of the weird WhatsApp image, start creating some circles, start having some fun. If you guys have any questions related to UI UX design, you know what to do. If you guys want to subscribe, do click on the subscribe button. If you don't want to subscribe, get the hell away. Let's just... Walker Digital says, ha ha ha, ha 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 indeed, ha ha ha, back to you. But seriously, if you guys have any questions related to UI UX design, I would be more than happy to answer them. If you guys have any questions related to professional UX design specifically, I have an expert coming on that on this channel really soon. Just looking forward to that. Just leave any questions you want to and we'll just bring them up there. If you guys don't have any questions and would not like to subscribe, leave immediately. No, I'm kidding. You can stay. All right. At this point, my primary concern is just to not make them really big. So this just feels like a little too big right now. But that just might be because we don't have a lot of spacing. 63 is the size that we're using now. Let's just link this together. Walker says yes to you and the long break. That break, genuinely many different capybaras died while I was taking that break. That break was excruciatingly long, and much to my surprise, many capybaras died while I was taking that break. Is it capybara? Is it capybara? I just cannot pronounce it. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. That break was excruciatingly long, by the way. Let's change this to white. Let's change this to black. And also, let's change all of these grays to white. And these look really weird right now because the spacing here is off, and I get that. And obviously we're going to add an effect, which is the master shadow for Neumorphism, of course. And obviously make sure everything is center lined. Walker says, that's funny, first time here, thank you for taking the time to do this. I do this every single special holiday and every single special day, so I'll also be here on New Year's because I take no holidays. I'm like a weird machine. I'm on a weird break to exhaust myself without any holidays. I know that sounds self-destructive, it probably is, and it's horrible because I'm technically not spending the holidays with my family because why would I when I can UI design? This really seems like a self-destructive dialogue to say, but I feel like I'm too committed now to go back. Alright, we've all of the share icons that we need now. What else do we need? I feel like this is enough. And now we're going to start building out this to-do list, because why not? This is the to-do list section, by the way. So Christmas party is the currently selected to-do list. Christmas day is the selected day. The selected day is visible in the calendar, but we also need a to-do list which is big, which is showing us stuff. And Walker says, I agree, me neither, I'm working too. That's exactly true. Like if you love your work, you will be extremely self-destructive like me and Walker and basically destroy any prospects of any holidays whatsoever. MTG asks, what are we making? We are making a Neumorphism SaaS UI, an event planner UI. I asked all of you guys a couple of days ago what we should build out for this special UI design stream for the Christmas special, and on Discord it got tied, which is horrible. But thankfully the YouTube community was out here and everyone decided on event planner UI, and we sort of combined the two group votes, and now we are here. We're focusing on Neumorphism today. And obviously now that we have created this frame with us, we need to make sure we have the master effect enabled. Speaking of effects, did you check out my really nice cap? I got it today. Type something nice about it today, seriously, because I got it today and I spent 50 rupees on it, and I'm really committed to getting my money's worth right here, right now, because Christmas is going to be over in exactly less than 3 hours, you guys, and I'm not going to be able to use it until next year, which is horrible. Speaking of horrible things, let's get a beautiful image right here. So which is going to search for Christmas right here, and did you check out this cool effect in Gloomy? You can just go to tools and effects, click on Christmas, and it's going to give you all sorts of Christmas images. So let's just get rid of this, and hopefully we'll have a Christmas image. Let's search for Christmas. Someone type something nice about my cap, because I feel like it's really not getting the attention it deserves. And why are we even talking about UI design when we can talk about this really nice cap? Let's get an image in here. Let's just get any image that would look really, really nice. I feel like this would do, but we have to consider right now the image that we're using has to be wide, and so we can't use a really, really tall image. For this exact reason, Tools and Effects in Lumi provides the reframe option for us, where we can go ahead and choose wider, and so we can just drag this guy out here, and it's going to create a really, really wide image for us. And at this point we have to decide what ratio we're going for. Either we're going for a 16:9 ratio, which is exactly this wide, or we're going for like 3:2 ratio. Let's just, or 2:1 ratio. I feel like 2:1 matches what we're doing better, and so we're going to start searching here. This seems like a good image. Let's get this down. I downloaded it. I feel like we should download one without a watermark. This, nope, this also is pro. What the hell just happened? Let's just download an image. Alright, now that we are downloading this image, let's just go back. I keep on looking down at the comments and no one has said anything nice about my cap yet, and it's starting to make me sad. Why? Let's just focus on the Santa Claus here, and with that we have this really, really nice rounded off image now. This image is inside of our frame, and the frame needs to have a border radius, which it does. Let's make sure this frame is inside of the other frame, so everything is just cut off. MTG said, can you use the make AI image feature on Figma instead? The make AI feature on Figma is trash. Full stop, question mark, no more emojis. I used it a couple of days ago and I was horrified, and every single time I try to go back it horrifies me even more, and I just can't today. Like, you know what, I can't today. I keep on going back and it's horrible. Figma's AI new features are just trash, and you have Lumi AI and stuff that's using AI right now giving us much cooler results. I don't think I should go back in the interest of using good images. I might make a video on Figma AI at some point, but right now it's just trash. Like, the background remover is also quite bad, honestly. It's not really nice. Walker says, I like your cap. Thank you, Walker. That's really nice. This was the comment I was looking for. Let's now stop streaming. This was it. Goodbye. I have my cap comment. Anyways, MTG also says, oh, cool Santa hat. Thank you. Akashdeep says, in my Figma, when I draw shape, instead of showing 145 by 145, it shows 145, 5 horizontal lines, 145. Why is that? 145 by 145, 5 horizontal lines. Are you talking about the layout grid? Are you talking about the 3 blue lines that it shows? Where does it show you 145, 5 lines, 145? I would like to know at this point. I'm curious. Let us know where it shows. I can't really answer your question without knowing that. Alright. Let's go back to what we were building. Let's type out Christmas party here. Very, very simple stuff. Christmas party. Check out the really cool party that we're doing right here with building out a UI. This is awesome. Let's just bring this right here and just add a simple shadow. So this is going to be, again, the master shadow. I feel like this is a little too less, especially for the UI that we're doing. You can do 2 things now, and I want you to look at this really carefully. You can get the image and then add another filter, sort of another fill on here, and it's going to be really, really dark. The plus side is you're going to be able to read very, very well and very, very easily the word Christmas party. But the downside is your Santa Claus is now a skin shade darker. Alternatively, you can just get rid of this and go ahead and break the master shadow and start experimenting around until you hit a point where you're happy with the way it looks. So this is going to be a little bit more intensive as labor is concerned, but I feel like I'm just willing to go the extra mile just so my image, which I searched for from Lumi, can just shine through. And with that, make sure to subscribe, you guys. If you don't subscribe and we don't hit 600 in this stream, I'm just going to be really, really sad. Like, I'm subscribe here on Christmas. Come on, subscribe. If you haven't yet subscribed, subscribe. Do not act like I'm here on Christmas. Do not act like this is not my Christmas Eve. Go ahead and subscribe. This is all our Christmas Eves, which means we belong to the same UI design gang, no matter how much cooler you think you are. All right, and with that, I would like to add now, this font style and this font style has to be exactly the same. Reason being, hear me out. This and this are sort of taking complementary positions in terms of the background color, the font family, the font style, everything. And this is where I did a good thing yesterday. When we were building out this calendar, we designed a font style which is called font size is 26 pixels, and all of these other settings are preserved, and so we're going to use that exact same style right here, just so these things look very, very consistent across our UI. Come on guys, subscribe. Let's hit 600 today. Let's type out venue booking, and let's change this to the font style that we were using. Let's change this to font. Let's bring this right here, and also we need 336 and also a couple more of these lists. Let's just get all of these in here. Let's align them to the left, because I feel like left align is how we're going to get this to-do list to work, and obviously we need to do this a bunch of times, so let's just get these things duplicated as well. Very, very simple stuff, like nothing complicated about it at all. Let's just duplicate this a bunch of times. And if you guys have any questions related to UI UX design or anything related to UX design, professional, field, career, Christmas, happy birthday, Veera, happy birthday, Santa Claus, and anything of those sorts, just leave them in the comments. Alright, and at this point we're just going to group them together just so we can use the spacing features in Figma to our advantage, and this just makes my life so much easier. Like, how nice is this? Now we can do all of these really cool things. Let's just add a little bit of spacing, and this is the stuff you can truly play around with. Check it out. It looks really, really nice. This is now center aligned. I feel like we need to give it a little bit more space, because there is going to be a little bit of stuff going on here and here, and with that this actually looks good enough. I'm just going to spare where it is. Akash says, when I draw any shape like a rectangle, instead of showing its width and height in multiplication, it shows width 5, horizontal line height. Let's do that. Let's just test Akash's theory out. When I build out a rectangle and when I try to multiply it, Akash, could you send me this question on Discord in the description, because I feel like it's just really difficult to explain without your screenshots and stuff like that. And if it's interesting, we'll post it on the channel as well. Let's now create an ellipse and make it smaller. And if you are new here, make sure to subscribe. Let's hit 600 today. Let's make this really, really small. Just small enough for it to be sort of equal to where we are right here. And by the way, you guys, what do you think are the things we should do on a Christmas party? If you guys type out your list of things that we should add to the to-do list, as silly as they can be, I'll just type them out here, like really, really quickly. While I'm making these circles, this is a challenge to you. Type out everything you think should be on this to-do list right now. Obviously, we're going to click on the blue button so everything is perfectly aligned. You can click on the layout button, and that's just going to make sure everything is perfectly aligned here for you as well. Then opt out, press Ctrl+Shift+G, and then everything is just perfectly aligned for you. Meanwhile, do not disappoint me, people. Type out the things you think we should do on this Christmas party on a UI design channel. Just really, really quickly type them out. Don't act like we're not expert typists in here. Come on, really, really quickly. Like, I will take a lot of these prompts that I'm saying and have no answers in the chat, but for this one, I'm not going disappointed today. Come on, type out what you think we should do in this Christmas party right now. Let's change the fill to a white, and then obviously whenever the fill is set to white, we need to have our master shadow with us, just so everything is still neumorphic. Walker says, I started using Sketch some time ago, followed another channel. It's been a long time since the person came back on, so it seems the creators have moved on to other applications. I tried Figma a year ago. I think it is a good channel to get back on track. I feel like some creators do move ahead, and that's fine. We come here live every single day. Sorry, not every single day. Every single holiday and Saturdays and Sundays. And there is a lot of really, really cool live streams, which we did as a part of the 100 Days of UI Design Challenge. You can go back to the live streams of this channel or the playlists that we've made on this channel, playlists, and just check them out while we're doing this, or even after this video. And we've designed a lot of really, really cool streams that you can follow, and you will have a really good understanding of Figma while designing these portfolio level projects. Like, this is really, really cool. You know what, since you guys are continuing to disappoint me, I will now be taking random things that are in the comments and repurposing them as the tasks for this Christmas party, because I simply refuse to come live and type out send out invites and music playlist as my to do options while I am live here in front of actual visual audience. That's just my personal quirk. Say what you will. I'm getting things from the comments and I'm typing them here now. If you want your own single phrasing, just type something in the chat. I'm going to type now. What should I type? I feel like I've taken a challenge for myself. Cool Santa hat. This was a great comment by our very own MTG, and I'm typing out cool Santa hat because it is a phrasing from the comment and it is right here, and I'll take it. The other really, really nice comment phrase that I'm using is, let's get something from the really, really old comments. Centered as you drop. I don't even know what it means. Centered as you, as, that was a really long phrase. Centered as you drop. Centered as you. Let's do centered as you. This is nice enough. All right. Please tell me. I'm just taking things from the comments, just looking at the comments randomly, and I'm just putting that as my to-do list of things. 100-day UI. This is also something Akash said. 100-day UI. I am working too. This is also from the chat. I hope this becomes a really weird list at the end. Make an image. No, make an image is normal people stuff. We'll do something weird. I subscribed and I appreciate your consistency. I'm just going to do both of those. I subscribed. Just so this becomes a nice. Thank you so much, but I'm just on a roll here now. I subscribed and I subscribed. Something weird. So I need something weird because I just feel like this should be something that everyone reads and decides to do. So I'm just going to leave that here. Back on track. No, back on track is just really, really simple stuff. Hold on with me. I'm going to figure out something humorous from inside the chat. Ha ha ha. This needs to be here as well. Don't you use auto layout was our phrasing, but I'm just really committed to my plan and making it funny. Don't you use. I don't even care if this joke doesn't land. If it doesn't, you're too not smart for this joke. Unless you're a subscriber, in which case you are. Neither am I. These are all of the things that we need to do. And I'm really committed to this plan, even if it doesn't. Promise, God status world said, promise yourself, never leave what you do. That would be long, but never leave you. I'll leave what? Never leave what? I'll take that. Digital Walker says, Walker says, be consistent. I'll do be consistent. Consistent. I hope this was a good list. If it wasn't, let's just read this out for a moment. When you're booking, I subscribed. These are the things you need to do for a cool Christmas party. When you're booking, I subscribed. Cool Santa hat, check. Ha ha ha, check. Centered as you, centered as me. Am I centered in the frame? Am I centered in the frame? I am now. Don't use them. Don't you use. I will not use. Please tell me. Neither am I. 100-day UI, never leave what? I am working, be consistent. This was a weird list. Weird. Walker says great list. It is a great list. And I've been streaming for a really long time now. My neck is starting to cry. Now I drink water with an excruciatingly long break. Broke my mic. Please tell me neither am I. 108. Am I still audible? I feel like I broke the mic. Am I still audible? Just type yes in the chat if I'm still audible. Otherwise I've taken a huge loss. Akash says yes, thank God. We still have a mic. Walker says, oh no, take a break. Yes. After that excruciatingly long break, I am back again. Wow. Who thought that time would end? I thought multiple other dogs and capybaras were going to die while I was gone. But they were not. Alright. You know what? Let's just I feel like I've made a grave mistake now. Let's change this, be consistent, and send this over to venue booking, because venue booking is just so plain and we need to add one section for add more here. So let's add a section for add more, and then we can change this to be a little bit bigger and then make this the icon for adding more stuff. Let's change this to red and also go ahead and get for ourselves a beautiful little icon. We'll go back to Iconify and search for plus. This seems like a good icon, even though it wasn't what I started with. I will now use this icon because I'm an icon weirdo. This would make a really great tattoo. I am an icon weirdo. This would make for a genuinely great tattoo, something I would never get. It would make a genuinely great tattoo. Anyways, jokes never aside. I never put jokes aside on this channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, because if you don't subscribe, multiple angels will cry on this great night of Christmas, because we are watching a UI design stream, you guys. If you're too cool to subscribe, you're in the wrong place. You're watching a UI design stream on Christmas Eve. Do subscribe. Like, don't act like we aren't on Christmas here. And let's hit 600 today. Add more. The only thing that's weird right here is this needs to be red and this needs to be a little bit thinner, because we're a little bit unsure if the user is going to add anything right now. So we're just going to get a lighter shade from any of the other shades. And also I feel like this seems to be a weird Swiss cow symbol. It's just really unnerving, so I'll have to cover it up. Can we do something about it? Yes, let's fill it up. Let's add a stroke on the inside. Make it... What's going on? Let's add a stroke on the outside. Oops. I feel like there's just no way to fix this weird hell of an icon that we've gotten ourselves into. Let's get a different icon. Let's get a different icon, because this is starting to seem like a Swiss cow and it's really unnerving me. I will have nightmares regarding this. Atul says Merry Christmas, Atul, welcome back. I'm so glad the people who were watching us before are back, and I feel like I gave an overreaction to that, but I'm just really committed to my overreaction now. Walker says Merry Christmas Day here in America. Wow, you're watching from America. That's so awesome. But come on, if you're spending your day, even if it's a day in America, watching a UI design stream, none of you better act like we're not the people who would subscribe to a UI design channel. Like, subscribe right now, because you and me are more similar than we realize. Just go ahead and subscribe. Stop lying to yourself. Be afraid of Santa and God. Don't go on the naughty list. And with that, we have our first UI design screen ready. Check out this beauty. Let's prototype this, because why not? And then we're going to design. Before I prototype anything, I'm going to lay out my plan. This is the UI that we've built, and then the next UI we'll build is this one. This is the year calendar that we're going to build, and then we're going to try to link this calendar with our, where did my previous frame go, with this calendar. So when December is sort of linked to this calendar, that is going to be the perfect tie the whole thing together moment. But right now we've built out a very first frame, and I'm just going to prototype this, and I'm going to share this with all of you guys. Walker says she's right, subscribe. Thank you so much, Walker. If you haven't, any of the other 6 people watching yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because I swear to God you don't want to go on the naughty list. You do not want to go on the naughty list. Just don't be a weirdo. Come on. Don't be an icon weirdo. Subscribe. Let's hit 600 today. Wow. And everyone who opens this UI up will be visible here. But you know what? You're seeing what's happening on the screen. Don't open it up. Open it up. It doesn't matter. Because if you open it up, then I feel like you'll be out of this stream. So I just don't want you to open it up on the cost of this stream. Let's build out the second page that we're building out. This is the second page that we're building out. Here are a couple of things that change. The section at the top basically stays consistent for the second page, and this number is basically the year number which we were taking from the name part, and we're sort of building it out right here. And so let's just change that. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this frame once again, and we're just going to start changing stuff, because this is really simple stuff. Let's change this to say December, because why not? If I find out after the stream is ended that very few people have subscribed, I'm going to be extremely mad, and then you're going to see a community post from me that says it. Because, come on, we're here on Christmas. This is our... Walker says, trust her, you really don't want to be on the naughty list. It is not my naughty list per se, it is Santa's naughty list. Just wait until you don't get a gift anymore. Anyways, jokes aside, this is the second UI that we're building out. We've just changed the name to December, and you don't want to build out really crappy UI designs. Why are you going on my naughty list either? Like don't be a weirdo. Come on, subscribe. Anyways, this is the first. Why did I type out December? I feel like I'm in a weird headspace right now. Went and decided to be too happy for a while. That was a stupid move. Let's make this smaller. Anyways, this is the second part that we're building out. I feel like we've grossly underestimated the font size. Let's increase the font size, and then we can go ahead and create the calendar. This next part is genuinely the most fun part ever. Walker says their birthday was on 23rd. That's awesome. You know what? I'll mark that in the calendar. I'll mark that. If you guys send out your birthday in the live chat, I'll mark it on this exact calendar, because we're building out an event planner, you guys. Come on. Send out your birthdays. We'll mark it in this calendar. This unbelievably amazing calendar. Let's add this right here, send it to the back, and change the color into something that's a little bit less primary. Check it out. And now we have Walker's birthday with us, just so we don't forget. If you guys send out your birthdays as well, I'll just mark them here. I won't worry about... I feel like I marked stuff in the wrong calendar though. We'll have to fix it. Akashdeep says 16. I don't know the year yet, and I'm just so committed to the whole December thing. I'll just use 16 on this calendar. Akash says, oh, thank you, Veera. You're very welcome. I might put down my own birthday as well. I feel like I should, because this seems to be a really nice idea. Like, come on, you guys. If you guys send out your own birthdays, we'll just fill this calendar out with very many colors, and we'll sort of post it on the community post, and we'll have a really nice filled out calendar. Come on. Send out your birthdays. There are many people watching, and I only have 2 birthdays. Come on, you guys. Send your birthdays, because let's not act like we're not watching a UI design live stream on Christmas. I know you're the true UI design watching audience, because you're watching this on Christmas. Come on, you guys. This is 8th. This is my birthday. I will accept any other birthday answers. These are actually the birthdays of everyone who's on this stream. So if you guys could just send out your birthdays. Let's not be shy. Walker says let's not be shy. Incredibly so. Let's let the people feel comfortable. Come on, you guys. We have Jesus's birthday, Walker's birthday, Akash's birthday and my own birthday. Let's send out our birthdays here. Come on, you guys. Even if it's a different month, I don't care. I'm just marking them in the community calendar. And I didn't mark a month here, which felt like a mistake in the beginning, but now I'm just really committed to the plan. Let's not behave like we're not watching a UI design stream today. Come on. Don't be a weirdo. Let's just get rid. Yes, it does not exactly, Walker. It does not even have to be in December. My own birthday is in October, and I'm just committed to the whole plan. Let's not behave like we're watching a UI design stream on Christmas. No, we're not. All right. Now, we have to change this to a frame, because having a frame lets you add auto layouts, which gives you many superpowers. So we just need to duplicate this a bunch of times and we get superpowers. We basically have 5 of these now, and we're going to align them to the to the right later on, and then we're going to add a user icon here as well. So this is going to be the user's avatar on this side, and then we're going to sort of try to align it to the right. Walker says, I like your vision, staying with the plan. Thank you, that's so nice. All right, let's put this right here, and obviously we're going to go ahead and align it towards the right. Make sure it aligns completely with this. And I can't admit that I made a mistake on the UI, on a UI design live stream where I'm claiming to teach UI. That would be horrible. I can't do that. Can't do that at all. That would be completely messed up, which is why I'm just really committed to proving myself right. And I'm also going to get the user avatar here. I could get any avatar I wanted, but this is of my personal doggo dog, Saf Boy Clean. This is him rejecting this exact Christmas cap on Christmas. I'll zoom in. He rejected the cap immediately. So now y'all get to watch it. Walker says, where in the earth are you, Veera? I'm on a beautiful planet inhabited by many different people. But seriously though, I am from India. Alright, and obviously we're just going to make sure everything is perfectly aligned. This is our user avatar. We're very committed to it, because at any stage in a SaaS app specifically, you want there to be the presence of the user. So you want there to be the user's name and the user's avatars, anything related to the user across the user, at least here on the screen, because you want stuff to be really visible, and you want the user to know that you're logging in the user and you have the user as a primary concern as well. Walker says, India, I thought so. I hope to come there someday. Beautiful place. Indeed it is. And now it absolutely is. And now we're going to build out all of these individual components for the months. So let's just build out individual cards for the months. And this is going to be one of the more fun things that we're going to do. Let's just bring this right here, add a fill, add an effect as well, because we are very subscribed to the Neumorphism theme of things. Add a border radius. Let's bring this right here, and obviously we're going to duplicate this 12 different times, because surprise there are 12 different months. I know none of you guys expected to find out this way. I know you were expecting a different answer, but sadly there are only 12 months in the year and not 102. I know many people who were subscribed to this channel were in the beginning. If you guys go to the community tab on this channel, you will actually find many of us hoping that there were 102 months in the year, but surprisingly we've had to burst a bubble, and it's going to take a couple of days to sink in, but what can we do? Sadly, there are only 12 months in the year. Can you imagine if there were like 102 months in the year? Then that would be like 365 divided by 102. 3 days a month would be the entire length of the month. Or we would be on a much bigger planet. That would also be something that could be done. Like, we could either go to a really big planet, be at a really big planet, correction, or just grand month. Anyways, now I want to get our focus back in here now, let's have a single image for each month of the year, and that's basically the only thing we're changing. So we need to basically have one image for every single month of the year. I want to keep this process transparent. You can find all of these images directly in the Discord group. If you go down there right now, you will find all of these images directly in the Discord group. But if you guys want to search for this, as I am searching for this, let's go ahead and search for a couple of these images, just so you know the actual process of how to get these things done. So I'm back at Lumi, and I'm searching for New Year, because all of these images are basically copyright free, any use case you want. Let's search for New Year, and obviously let's search for photos, because I feel like after taking a turn for only illustrations in here, I am ready to go ahead and work with a couple of actual images. That would be a good style to think about. Let's download this image. I'm just going to download these images even if they give me watermarks, because I don't have Lumi Pro yet. Why not? Let's just go right here, get ourselves a really nice image. I'm not using the Lumi plugin in Figma because it makes my computer crash while streaming, but you are absolutely welcome to. We have January, New Year. February is Mahashivratri. Let's go to Pixabay, because Pixabay will give you a lot of images that Lumi will not give you. February is obviously known for Mahashivratri, the greatest holiday in the world. And we're searching for all images at this point, because obviously we're going to get great images. Mahashivratri, February, obviously. Let's get this image downloaded. March is going to be, what do we have on March? I forgot completely. March is Holi, obviously. March is Holi. If you aren't familiar with it yet, March is famous for Holi, and I need to charge this device because we're running really low on battery. We could crash at any point. That's horrible. Alright, are we charging? Yes, we are. We are now charging, and also we're going to get an image for Holi. Let's get this image because this is the direction we're going with. Then we have April. What happens in April? April is Easter. Let's search for Easter. So we're sort of trying to mark all of the different holidays that take place in all of these months, because we want there to be a visual representation of the whole year from an event calendar from the perspective of holidays, because this is a holiday event calendar as decided by the the vote on the community. We have April, and then what happens in May? May is Labor Day. Let's search for Labor. May is Labor Day. Let's just get any labor images here. This one looks good. And before I go ahead and get a bunch of images, let's start putting them here in Figma and start seeing how they work out in real life. Meanwhile, if you guys have any questions related to UI UX design, do leave them in the chat. Just do. Let's put them right here again. Put down your favorite holidays. That would be awesome, and we'll probably mark them in this calendar right here. Like, that would be completely incredible. Just put down your favorite holiday. Unless it's Christmas, then it's today. And make sure to subscribe, you guys, if you haven't yet. What in the world are you doing? April is Easter, hopefully. If it isn't, we're doing something wrong, which is fine. The next image that we're going to get is obviously Labor Day. Again, this does take a little bit of time, but the end results are so worth it. What happens in June? I feel like I need to check. June is Music Day. I realized just today, World Music Day happens in June, and that's one of the only great things that happens in June. And then I was like, why not? Let's get Music Day happening in June on the calendar. I don't know of any great holidays in June. Do you know of any great holidays in June? If you do, let me know. Let's go right here and get for ourselves June. Let's get June right here. And July is obviously Guru Purnima. Everyone knows that. If you don't yet know it, you're probably not from India. If you're not from India, hello. Most of illustration like images are found on Freepik, and I wanted to introduce that here as well. You can get a couple of free assets downloaded every single day. Let's get Guru image for Guru Purnima, which happens in July for the next month, downloaded off really, really quickly. This seems to be a good image. Let's get it downloaded. Memorial Day for America. You know what? I did Guru Purnima for the first UI. Let's do Memorial Day. Why not? What exactly is memorialized, by the way? Memorial Day. If you could clarify that. It happens in May. I think so. This says it happens in May. All right. All right. Let's see if we can find any images, and we'll try to search for it in May. You're close enough. Let's get one of these images. I don't want to get any images that I'd get in like sort of a copyright holder issue. I'll try to do this one. I'm not sure this is exactly appropriate, but I'll take a risk. These are tombstones still. My respects to everyone. May was Labor Day, and 26th May is Memorial Day. We'll get that in here. I don't want to use the actual images from the actual cemetery because I'll probably get some issues there. Demento Aviation says hello, welcome, Merry Christmas. Make sure to subscribe because, come on, you're watching a UI design stream on Christmas. You need to subscribe because we are all things UI design in this world. All right, what was on July? The Guru image was on July, and I wanted to introduce this bit as well here because sometimes you'll find an image that was technically supposed to be squared off, but you wanted it to be really, really long. And so if that is the case, you're going to change this to fit, and that's just going to make your job really, really easy for you. But don't worry, we're going to make sure all of these are set to rectangles. So we're going to add a fill here, drag this fill down, and then change the color of this fill to the one at the back. So with that, we have a really, really nicely rounded off section. Father's Day in June. Yes, exactly. Let's do Father's Day in June. Demento says, thank you, you two already done. That is so lovely. That is incredibly awesome. Thank you, Demento. And also to everyone else watching whose names and identities, who is this? I feel like I've seen this person somewhere. I have no idea who these people are, but I feel like I've seen a couple of these people somewhere. That's the thing with AI, weird deja vu. Let's get one of these images in here. Which image should we get? Let's get this one. This just feels like very, very normal stuff. Let's get Father's Day in June. I have no idea what to put for Father's Day. Alright. June, July, August. What happens in August? Obviously Ganesh Chaturthi. What else? If you're watching from outside India and you're not Hindu, you might not know a lot of these things. But I was also not born into a very Christmas and Easter celebrating family, so what can you do about that? Let's search for Ganesh Chaturthi because surprise, surprise, we are talking August. Let's get this image downloaded. Pick a father and child. You know what? Okay, we'll do pick a father and child for Father's Day. Let's do this image. Let's add a pick of Father's Day. I feel like this was basic knowledge and I just messed it up. Done. And let's just now get Ganesh Chaturthi because obviously. This is a really, really cool effect as well with the image. Alright. Now we have August and then we need to get September. Walker says keep it simple. That is a great plan. September. What happens in September? Why do I keep on forgetting? Teacher's Day happens in September. Teacher. Alright. To everyone watching, if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Do not act like you're not watching a UI design stream on Christmas. And I'm repeating myself. Labor Day. I thought Labor Day was in May. You're right. If you're from outside India, actually Teachers Day is National Teachers Day in September. If you're saying this is Labor Day, I'll just commit to it. I have no issues whatsoever. Let's get this really weird image of a really weird labor in here. I have no idea if Labor Day happens in September or May, because I feel like a lot of these dates are giving us crashy effects internationally. In India, they call it Labor Day when it happens on the 1st of May. But I feel like that's just regional stuff. Done. Labor Day is in September in America. All right. Great. I feel like I did a weird mistake by adding this labor image. We'll just go back to the previous labor image which we downloaded, because at this point we're only able to see the man's face, which is even weirder. And it is at this point you will realize that this is a mistake, because we need to get rid of the previous fill. Otherwise it messes up with your image, and that's bad, because we don't want that. Let's get our previous image. Where did my previous image go? It's like images are right here and then they get lost. It's right here. I don't believe they mean the same thing. All right. I don't even want to say I'm smart in this area, because I'm really not. Probably you're probably right. Like I don't. Why is, you know what? I'll feed my curiosity at this point. Why is it Labor Day in America? I'll find out. Because Labor Day America, because I feel like really clueless right now. It's about the same thing. It is something. It's related to Labor Day, and this is Labor Day America. I feel like if you search Labor Day India, it's really, this is Workers' Day. Wow, Veera, way to go on messing things up. This is Workers' Day. I was just messing it up in my head. May 1st is Workers' Day. Labor Day is September, obviously. That's on me. My fault. Anyways, let's get a really cool Halloween image. Halloween is one of the festivals I'm sort of glad we don't celebrate, because I'm already the kind of person who used to get a bunch of nightmares. I'm really glad we don't celebrate Halloween where I'm at least not in your average trick-or-treating kind of way. I'm really happy about that. Rahul Shakya says, hello, Rahul, welcome back. Walker says, okay, great, we both have it right, just different months. Absolutely, that's the best news of all. And then we do Diwali, which is in September. I don't care if I sound very Indian doing this calendar, because I very am. And I'll just play into my strengths at this point. Why is there a bunch of skeletons on Diwali? This is not related at all. Like, Lumi, fix whatever it is that you're doing. I feel like this is good enough. A firecracker is actually good enough. We'll just stay committed with that. Even though we technically do diyas, I'll just get this out of the way. Walker says, I don't like Halloween, I prefer Harvest Day. I, again, at a loss of words. That sounds actually makes sense. Like, I still don't completely understand, and I apologize if I'm not being very understanding here, but I really don't understand why or how you'd be okay with just getting scared and nightmares, because Halloween seems like a scary topic. I would genuinely be scared and horrified of Halloween. Like, how do you celebrate that? I would genuinely get confused. Like, that is the part of Halloween where it makes me happy to be where I'm at and not at a very Halloween-y place. Like, the whole trick-or-treating aspect sounds a little bit too real for me. Just, Walker says, just my opinion, not trying to confuse. That's why I don't like it. Great, we seem to have the same opinions. How amazing is that? And at this point, we're almost done. We just need to add these titles. And also, since we need to add titles, we're just going to make sure they're completely visible. And some titles on lighter backgrounds might feel a little bit not visible. For that, we're going to get our master shadow in again, once again, right here. Let's change the font size. Obviously, the very first thing we're going to do is change our font sizes, get them up to as big as we can. We'll get them up to 48. And then obviously we're going to add our master shadow, just so the whole shadow neumorphism thing is retained. Let's also adjust this, shift it above, and with that we now have something in the center. Let's just get rid of this, and obviously we're going to do this a bunch of times. February. This is genuinely going to take a little bit of time, especially if you think about when we were building out the calendars. This is going to take a little bit of time, but what can you do? And I really was hoping we'd hit 600 today. If we haven't yet hit 600, go ahead, click on the subscribe button. Let's hit 600. Come on, you guys. We can do 600. Like that seems like a doable goal, considering where we're at with this channel. Come on, you guys. We can do 600. Like, don't make me scream the same thing once again. Come on. Let's do May, MAY. Copy and paste this. I feel like I was proven the idiot once again just by trying to copy and paste it a bunch of times. That was a bad idea. Let's do these individually, because it's really easy to mess all of this up. It's really easy to mess it up. OCTOBER, and then obviously we're going to do a bunch of these. Change this up to November. Walker says it's 579. I feel like you might have to refresh the stream, and I might too, but I can't do that without losing this live stream, so I can't really check it. But if you're watching it continuously, you might have to refresh the screen to see the actual numbers, just in case. Let's change this to July. And with that, we are so close to getting this done. Again, if you have just started watching, we were doing a really fun challenge right here, and I just want to get into that before I end this. We were marking all of our respective birthdays right here. This is Jesus' birthday. This is my birthday. This is... Hold on. This is Akash's birthday, and this is Walker's birthday. If you type out the date of your birthday, regardless of the month, this is why we don't have a month on this calendar, we'll mark it in the holiday event planner. That's just going to be awesome. This is Jesus' birthday, and this is all of the other people's birthday. And it'll be really nice at the end to have a bunch of birthdays on this calendar. And I'm going to post it in the community tab. February, March... Let's copy and paste it, and obviously we have... Rahul says 5. We'll do 5 as well. Walker says it's 581. That is amazing. We are so close. Oops. Let's get this thing right here and put it in the center. We're going to send it to the back, and obviously we're going to change it here as well. This is Rahul's birthday. Completely awesome. How awesome is that? And with that, you guys, we have 5 different birthdays. If you guys want to put down your birthdays, that'd be awesome. If you don't, I'm going to post this on the community, marking it as the birthday calendar. That is going to be awesome. So just put down your birthdays really quickly. And with that, let's share this here as well. Alright, I'm going to share the prototype, this page as well. I'm not even sure if this is the same exact one, but why not? And with that, check it out, you guys. We actually learned so much in this stream. We built out a complete SaaS application using Neumorphism as our primary style. We used all of these completely awesome components, made sure everything was consistent, learned how to use text styles, shadow styles, special effect styles, did ombre effects for these days, did really nice birthday calendars, Jesus, Rahul, me, Walker at the bottom, and also we have, I keep on forgetting your name, Akash. This is a really common name and I keep on forgetting the name. Anyways, this is Christmas, this is New Year, and you can also check out the more other holidays. You can check out the complete month's calendar. When you go to December, you can go back to the previous one. In fact, let's just prototype the December month to go back. Let's prototype this exact section to sort of go back to our previous frame. Let's go back to the prototype section, add an interaction, and navigate back to MacBook Pro 1. And this is going to be a smart animate, so it's going to try to retain all of the other animations that we've done. Let's go with gentle, and we're going to make sure this exact effect is applied to the December word as well, just so nothing is left out. And now check this out. This is where the really cool stuff starts to happen. When you click on December, you get greeted with this really nice page, and that is our complete mini SaaS UI using Neumorphism in Figma. If you watched it this far, thank you so much for watching. This has been really one of the most greatest streams we've ever done. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you. Make sure to subscribe, because come on, we're all UI designing, watching Christmas people, and we need to subscribe. And I will see you again in another video, and also hopefully on the New Year's live stream. And also, do we have a weekend coming in before that? Just give me a moment. It seems so. Check it out, you guys. This is awesome news. It seems that I will be going live for 28, 29, and then 31st and 1st. So like 4 days, skipping 1 day. So I'm going to be live at this weekend at 28th, and then also at the New Year. So I will see you this weekend and also at the New Year's 2 days. Till then, peace, happy designing, join the Discord group, get all of these images that we've used in this UI today, and happy Christmas, happy birthday.